The blue card is going to be a sin bin for 10 minutes, and it's going to be for sort of back chat to the referee first of all, and then also like you say, the really cynical,
like fouls. Cynical stuff,
like like when you do a sort of professional foul, when someone brings someone down on the halfway line, you're about to go through, score a goal. It's obvious. It's not quite a red, but it's sort of pretty bad.
Yeah,
that's where they're bringing it in, and effectively it will bring the sin bin into football, which is something that has been discussed for a long time. I mean, we've heard about sin bins for 10 plus years.
But why do you think it's shit though?
I just don't want to slow the game down. Like we've already slowed it down so much because of VAR.
I'll tell you another thing, right? I don't know why this has really annoyed me, but blue. Why is it?
I would have called orange. Yeah,
it's an orange card.
It's
like, we've been saying it for years. It's not quite a red. It's not quite it's sort of an orange. Blue card. Like, it doesn't make sense. What do they do when they go off? Because we see it in rugby, didn't they? They go on the little
sin bin. They go on the little bench. They sit there. They have to watch the game.
No, but you got to keep.
They sit on the bike.
You got to get on the bike, didn't you? Yeah.
I think that the refereeing standards this year are the worst in my memory.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm genuinely shocked by how bad it is. Like Newcastle Forest yesterday, it was. And it's sad because I'm almost so like used to it now that like I used to get really annoyed, and now I'm like, like
referees are just shit.
It's so bad
on every level, Sunday League to the Premier League.
But even with VAR, which was intended to speed the game, help the game be more correct and factual, the amount of VAR decisions that we have watched get wrong, countless times. It's like all we've done is substituted an immediate human error potentially for slower human errors.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, the whole point of the game, making it more entertaining, is to keep it free flowing, keep it fast. We never want referees who are constantly blowing up and stopping the game. Unless you need to take control of a game. And the amount of referees who can't even do that.
Yeah,
so to give them more options, more cards, I'm like, I want them less involved, not more involved.
The games are so over-refereed at the moment. And every game that I really enjoy, I come away and I go, I didn't notice the referee in that game. It's always the games where I go, I didn't really think about it. But so how many times this season have you watched a game and you've looked at a referee and gone, he needs another thing to think about. He needs another card in his pocket. He needs another rule that he has to enforce. Never. They've already got too many. There's already too much stuff going on. The rules change so frequently. The refs don't know what's going on. And like you say, Brian, it used to be that there was one guy on the pitch that could make a mistake. We've now got one guy on the pitch, 3 guys around the pitch, 4 guys in a fucking van somewhere that can make a mistake. And we've all heard the audio.
And they still don't know what a handball is.
They don't know what they're doing.
You know what I mean?
So why are we giving them more stuff to do?
Do you not think, though, the actual card, the blue card itself, if you look at the infractions and the reasons why it could be given, do you not think that isn't slowing the game down at all? That's like, I know it's another rule change. It's another thing that's different about the game.
I don't like the dissent thing, though.
Yeah.
I just think, bro, like referees, if someone's chatting shit to you, just carry on, bro. It's not that deep. It's like, it's a game of emotions. It's not that deep. But like, so like someone like Nunez will get it all the time.
This is I think you've hit the nail on the head.
He will get it all the time.
Emotion. That's why we enjoy it.
Whereas like the cynicalness, I get. Like I think that's a fair one to keep it in.
At the end of the day, if your player is running through on goal and it's on the halfway line, he gets blocked, stops having a goal scoring opportunity. That is a really big thing for your club. And you know what? If that happens to you, if that happens to Callum Wilson now, and he goes in, runs in at the defence and gets chopped, and he stops a goal scoring opportunity, you would be fuming, and actually you'd kind of agree with it, wouldn't you?
Especially that Euro one's the one that sticks in my head. I just think extra time, Chiellini's gone off for 10 minutes. He's their best defender. And that can actually change the outcome of the game in your favour. So that what he just did there, he just knew he would get away with something.
I don't think it would, though. I think if you actually think practically about what would happen, like say for example, like the amount of games I watch where it's basically good team against bad team, attacking team with the ball against the low block, and I think what will happen is if you've got a defender who goes off for 10 minutes, you just sit back for 10 minutes. Like all we're going to see is the games becoming worse spectacles. Where if you go sin bin, you know that on the sideline the manager's going to go five at the back, get everyone back. Steer everyone back for 10 minutes, have a little breather, and then go again. And it's just going to make the game worse.
I just don't have any faith that they'll enforce it correctly. Therefore, I don't want it.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not disagreeing with Josh on the logic. Like, I could, if we had officials who I thought were great, I would like, maybe we'll listen to this. The VAR, and here's the thing that really is annoying me the most is, who the fuck is thinking this up? And how can they just enforce this on the people's game with no consent for what we want? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's like Who the fuck is deciding?
So you're spending.
Does anyone around this table know who enforces this? Like in person?
No.
Is it Richard Masters or?
It's the PGMOL.
Because to me,
the associated.
To me, if we had football authorities who were in any way fit and proper, they'd look at the absolute shit show that is VAR and go, "We have fucked this beyond belief. Yeah. We're now dragging the games out longer. We're taking forever to make up decisions that even we've still not got right." Right? So we're just taking longer to make the wrong decision. Let's suck it up. If they really cared about the game, they would have done away with VAR, in my opinion.
Do you know what the thing that, for me, is the key nail in the coffin for this blue card thing is? How can you ever compare Premier League football now to what it was 20 years ago? Like it does almost feel like a completely different game.
It's like if you think about WE back in the 90s.
Yeah. It's like when we're talking about like Premier League goal scorers of all time.
Yeah.
Like I don't think in 20 years' time we're going to be able to compare those stats anymore because you've literally got 10 minutes more in a game minimum if we're looking at that rule change. Then you've got all the VAR stuff, which quite frankly is probably given more goals, or I don't know. They've taken away goals and given goals, but it's different horses of courses. And then you look at all the other rule changes that are going to be coming in. It is a completely different game. It's almost like the change that's happened when the back pass rule came in, or when we went from 2 to 3 points. Like it is that big a change. The rules that we've had as a collective.
Defenders used to be able to do. Yeah. Roy Keane would be in jail now. That's
could have killed someone.
Yeah, well, that's what people would say. Like honestly, you look back at football from when we were growing up in the noughties and stuff, and
it was so much more free flowing.
It was so much quicker.
Personally, I think football's peaked. It's so mechanical, making it so much about XG, about VAR.
It's more about
the players. Yeah, it's not about the players.
Athleticism and less about.
It isn't about the
brilliance and talent.
Yeah. I think some of it is like the pepification of football, like the kind of system.
It's about running. It's about containing the ball, maintaining possession, making less mistakes.
There's no risk.
It's not about taking chances. It's about running forward and opening the games up the way it used to be.
I went and watched my nephew play. And he's 10, right? I went and watched my nephew play a few weeks ago, and
it's baller.
He's decent. But like I was just watching, does 7-a-side, and it's like you can see managers being like, if someone does step overs or someone tries to beat someone like that, careful, get back in your spot. Do you know what I mean? Round of applause for tracking back, not for trying to beat someone or trying to do anything. It's like, and it's a shame because I feel like the players that we've actually got in the England setup right now are players who came through, as we say, sort of 10, 15 years ago, when we were trying to get more technical players, we were trying to get dribblers through, and that's why we've got players like Saka, like Foden, who can beat people. Whereas now, I feel like kids are going to be growing up in an era where you've got to cover your left back. Do you know what I mean? You've got to invert into midfield rather than just play.
I also think it's a stats thing now. So if you look at back in the day, dribbles, let's say a stat like dribbles completed. If a player did 10 dribbles in a game and fucked up 8, but he scored on 2 of them, we class that as good. But now they'll look at dribbles completed, he's only done 2 out of 10.
So the classic example is what Pep Guardiola did to Grealish.
Yeah.
Ruined him. In my opinion, just fucking ruined him. Yeah. And if Grealish had been playing 20 years ago, we'd be talking about him as one of the most exciting players of that era.
Yeah. So
he's killed.
Well, I was going to say, what happened? Gaza in the modern era.
There you go.
What would happen? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He'd be sitting
Imagine Gaza tracking back.
I think you're losing your Mavericks in football now.
I've got one for you then. If you could get rid of one thing out of the modern game, one rule, what would you get rid of?
Go around the table.
It's for me. It's obvious it's VAR, but I'm trying to think of something. Would
you get rid of it completely? Yeah. Would you wipe?
No, bro.
Obviously, goal line technology, and if there's one they could actually do for the offside rather than the whole drawing the line.
Automated offside.
If there was a way.
What I would do with VAR, I would do it how they do tennis when they do the challenges on tennis, like with the points.
Yeah. So a manager gets 3 opportunities.
Yeah, you get 2. You can only get 2 a game or something like that. Like I wouldn't do it like every little thing.
I would prefer that massively, because as much as being right is important, this is entertainment.
Yeah, bro. I want to be entertained, bro. I kind of like the hand of God, and I like those things because it's iconic. Do you know what I mean? Those things. So it's like, I think I would limit VAR.
Do you know the one for me that I would change? And it's funny you mentioned the hand of God, because there was a game recently. I think it was this weekend. I can't remember which one it was, but there were 2 penalties given for handballs where they literally were players with their hands above their head, but they would jump in for the ball, completely natural. We would do that in our football matches, every single time, and you would never give a penalty in just a general football game because of that. I'm sick and tired of all these penalties being given for absolutely no reason. Do you know what? The one thing that I would change is honestly just make that an indirect free kick.
But my question,
that would improve
my question to everyone here, what is handball? is it deliberate? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it deliberate where you stop the ball with your hand, or is it just if it just hits your hand?
It's not purely deliberate anymore. And that was the thing that we kind of grew up with: is accidental handball is not.
It's not.
Now
penalty.
it's unnatural position.
Yeah. Which is
what is it? What is an unnatural position?
It's bollocks.
Mate, this is the thing. So say,
debatable.
for example, if you were to fall over now, we're not playing football, you were to fall on the floor, you wouldn't pencil, would you?
Yeah.
You would try and break your fall. But then if a football hits your hand where you try to break your fall, all of a sudden, unnatural, it's like, actually, it's pretty fucking natural.
I
to
would
do
stop.
that.
I would stop at. Do you remember Gibbs in the Arsenal game where we beat them 6-0? He got.
No, wasn't it Oxlade-Chamberlain?
No. I'm glad you said that. But that was a clear red card, and that was a clear penalty. That is the handball that you should. That should be the worst one. Yeah.